What's going on? So I'm making another video yet again, and I want to talk about basically staying safe and everything else in the news. I get to that a little bit later if I can make it in this video. But I want to talk about how it's a peculiar smell in the air, as if somebody using some kind of pesticide or some kind of fertilizer. It smells just like fertilizer. It's just I can't explain it, but I know when you don't wear a mask, you can smell it. There's been some instances where I can kind of sometimes taste it on my tongue. Like yesterday when I went to Harvey supermarket to go buy a couple items, I had to use one of my cloth shopping grocery bags to cover my nose and my mouth because it was real pungent in this area where I'm at. I'm like, damn, that's a strong ass smell. I remember my governor here in my state, he ordered an executive stay-at-home order. Well, he signed an executive stay-at-home order about last month. So when all the residences is told, I don't know if it's residences or resident, because I used to have a couple bitch ass trolls a couple years ago. Used to pick on how I was sounding. I didn't mean to get off kilter, but that always irked me. People used to assume education by how a person talk, but y'all got rednecks out there. You got trailer trash people out there. You got hood people out there. You got some of everybody out there. Just because somebody can't articulate themselves the way you would want them, don't mean that your language and the way you talk and your etiquette is inferior. Theirs inferior to yours. But getting back to the point. So during the whole stay-at-home order situation, which a lot of people really ain't doing, you got a lot of people protesting against the stay-at-home order. Actually, I think that while everybody was home, some of the military officials been spraying. And I'm gonna tell you how that's not tin-foil hat news. The military already been helping when it come to helping get tested for people that need to be tested for coronavirus. They passing out water, they passing out food. They're basically there to, I guess, help with the hysteria. They there to keep things calm. Now, where do they go when the residents is told to stay at home? Look, you don't have hardly anybody out. Maybe one or two cars. That's it. You don't have anybody down this way, and you don't have nobody down that way. And I'm talking about it's been like this for weeks. Sometimes I'll be the only person walking down the street because I have to be up here real early. It's a place I go to. So I have to be up here real early. And a lot of times you have to come to this bitch early. But anyways, I don't be seeing nobody. Sometimes I'll be the only person walking down the street, and it's frightening to be honest. Because you don't know who out there. You don't know if it's a crooked cop waiting to pounce and beat an unsuspecting bystander to death because you know they would do that. They is not above doing that. But I believe that when everybody home and they locked inside their doors, some officials go to spraying. It could be from the helicopters or it could be them on foot. Really who's to tell? Because I mean, when you under a stay-at-home order, you just can't just up and come out your house and wander around the neighborhood. Most of the stores closed, the convenience stores closed. So what's open besides the hospital? Ain't really nothing open. And this whole stimulus, getting the stimulus check. Listen, if I get my stimulus check, you better believe I'm gonna make that. I'm gonna make that money work for me because I'm not gonna just blow all the money. See, that's what they want you to do. They're giving you the $1,200. That's why it's so low. It's such a low amount. If it really was aimed to help the Americans, it'd be about between $5,000 to $10,000. Now, if people say, well, $2.2 trillion giving every American $1,200, that'll basically bankrupt the country. So if they was to do five or $10,000, that wouldn't make no sense. So the $1,200 they give you is supposed to really stimulate the economy. They want you to burn that money. They want you to spend it, and they know most poor people, especially those who out of work, because trust me, just because you got a job don't mean that you rich or middle class. You really technically haven't made it uh, past or below the poverty line. Well, past the poverty line because technically the poverty line is what they say between $50,000 and under. That's the median. It could be 25,000 because some people make that in a year. And if you work two jobs, you better make $35,000 or $40,000 a year. It just depends on what you're doing. So you had a whole bunch of people that really wasn't excited to get the $1,200 because they say, hey, I got to go to paying bills. They got to pay the light bill. They got to pay the phone bill to pay the rent. And hell, the way rent is in some places, hell, that is $1,200. That's why the Senate and I think President Trump was proposing a bill. They was going to try to reintroduce a bill. Well, not reintroduce because reintroduce would mean that they already had the shit. But they trying to introduce a bill that would allow Americans to get up to $2,000 a month for 6 months to a year, maybe 6 months. And they trying to propose a new legislation bill that will allow Americans to have free rent and free mortgage for us by as long as the coronavirus is still here. So I mean, they hear the Americans complaining, and they hear us um, saying how things would be better. Because trust me, with $2,000 a month, you won't complain about 1,200. Because think about it, the $1,200 is not meant to really be saved. If you think about it, most people gonna the first purchase they're gonna spend about $300-400 on something that's useless, you know. And everybody still haven't gotten theirs. I ain't got mine yet. I haven't got mine yet. But hopefully, this whole damn serial killing ass damn virus that got 40 different dangerous bacterial strands, including HIV, got particles of HIV and it got particles of other kind of bacteria in it. When that serial killing ass virus finally go on about its business or finally die, which I'll be glad of, America and a lot of the world still won't be the same. How can you be the same after what jumped off? This is like the biggest, largest, and this still really isn't the largest calamity that we've seen. You know, in history, they had viruses that was worse, and it wiped out millions. Now they suspect that this virus could be around anywhere between 9 to 18 months, and some places trying to reopen. Some places are trying to reopen. Excuse me, because you got a whole bunch of antsy people that don't want to stay home. They be always complaining, oh, I work too much. I don't even have no time to be with my family. But then God fixed it when you got time to be around your family and your friends. They done got on your nerves already, huh? You can't even stand to go another couple months staying in the house. I've been losing money too. Now I understand how people feel. Yeah, you been losing money. I've been losing money too. I done lost hundreds of dollars since this whole thing happened. Probably more than that because I done lost count. I just say, well, my Lord will provide for me like He been doing. I'm not gonna worry about what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna worry at all. Because why worry about a situation that you can't change it? I can see if you was worrying about it and you're heading up to Washington D.C. or you're heading up to the CDC department to try to give some advice. I can see if we were doing that. But if you just sit home worrying about the virus, oh Lord, that coronavirus, I hope I don't catch it. Oh Lord, I hope my family don't catch it. And you still going outside with your mouth wide open, breathing in all that damn RONA, and then you hoping that nothing don't happen to you, and you hang around massive crowds and you're drinking like a fish, and then you can't pray. Well, yeah, you can, but you can't worry and then pray at the same time. It don't work like that. You either doing one or the other. You either doing one or the damn other. That's all. That's all. Because at the end of the day, that virus ain't gonna last forever. It's gonna have to die. Somebody gonna kill it. It ain't gonna last forever. But the type of damage that it'll do while it's here, because it's killing thousands a day, so they say. So they say. I believe it's real. I believe the virus is real because I guess because the government and everybody tell us. So I believe the virus is real because of the death toll, and I know because Privacy Act reasons they can't divulge any kind of names or show any kind of bodies and stuff like that. So I understand that part. I believe something is really really bad going on. but I always had my doubts. You know, I see the nurses, I see the packed hospitals, but at the same time, it could be already patients there for previous reasons, and they could just point to them and say, "Well, them COVID-19 victims," and I just because sometimes I have to say to myself, this is the same government that poisoned a lot of the alcohol during Prohibition because people wasn't doing what? They wasn't adhering to the laws. They were saying that they was going to outlaw alcohol during the crash of Wall Street, what, between the 1929 all the way up to, I guess, what the ban lasted from what I hear, 10 years, 6 to 10 years. And Bill skyrocketed, even though it was outlawed. People was drinking like a fish. They was still selling alcohol. They was making money off it. Bootleggers. Oh man, Al Capone made the goddamn killing. You know, ever since you have, ever since laws been in place, there's always been people that want to disobey it because people feel like, oh, you can't tell me what to do. I'm a grown person. You know, don't like listening to authority figures. People can't tell you what to do, but you end up in prison and you got a warden and you got a bunch of correctional guards telling you what to do. Now, how did that work out? How did that sound? You know, uh, like I said before, I try to believe in a lot of stuff, and I'm not gonna say I'm doubting Thomas. I wouldn't really say I'm a doubting Thomas, but hey, I'm leaning real heavy towards it. Now, like I was saying, if they can find a vaccine for it, that'd be good. But they believe a vaccine will be 2 years from now. That's why they was suggesting that it could take anywhere between 6 to 18 months, because 18 months is around that time. You know, well, hell. So just be mindful of your surroundings. If you can, wear a glove and a mask. I done heard some people say, "Well, I can still catch it with the mask on, or I can still catch it with the gloves." Hell, you can slip and crack your head on the sidewalk. Anything can happen. But when you get in the car, you protect it, you insulate it, right? You riding inside of steel and metal and plastic and all that. I understand you can still get killed. Our body's got delicate organs inside, but we got a skeletal system that protects the heart, the lungs, the brain. It has to take a lot in order to really hurt those organs. So we have to have shoes on to walk because if you ain't, if you don't have any shoes on, you can get tetanus from stepping on the needle, or you can get yourself cut with the glass. So the shoes protect our feet. So basically, what I'm saying is just try to protect yourself as much as you can, because we don't know how long this thing gonna be here, and we don't know if it's here to stay. Because I really ain't gonna trust it once it's gone. They could say they got rid of it tomorrow, and it's not that I won't believe them, but I still take precautionary measures because they were just talking about that the winter season gonna be here before you know it, and that virus still gonna be lingering here around the cold. So what that's gonna do is gonna spread and it's gonna multiply. It's gonna get even worse. So I don't want this video to be too long. So in closing, I was priceless, bro, with yet another video. And be sure to watch my channel, subscribe, give a thumbs up, like, comment. But I'll be coming out with probably another video. I get tired of doing all that editing. I do a lot of editing on my tablet with the animations and stuff, and sometimes I get real, real bored. It really do. Until next time, everybody, peace.